Yeah. And I think we are definitely live now on Facebook. Let's have a look. Yes, we are. We are definitely live on Facebook. Today is the 15th of June. It is the day before June 16th. Ne? So you must understand that the people that are with us today are rebels. They are game changers. They're changing the rules. They don't want people to talk about them in the way that they knew in the past. Just like when it was June 16, the young people were in the street and they were saying enough is enough about what is enough, right? So nothing different today. When we are talking about WhatsApp advocacy and testosterone, we are talking about things that people aren't used to really, right? People are used to, if you were born a girl, you shall always be a girl. If you're born a boy, you shall always be a boy. We know that is history, that is old news. So we are very excited today to have Ndabezitha and Penny. And they're going to tell us a little bit more about themselves. They're going to tell us what made them decide to change the game and change the rules and find other people who also agree with what the rules are and how the rest of the community should be made aware, right? So the topic is WhatsApp advocacy and testosterone. Welcome to the Gender Exchange. Hi guys, how's it going? Welcome.
Hi, greetings. Thank you.
It's cold. It's cold in Bloemfontein. What's the weather like there, Penny? Where are
I
you?
think it's about 2 degrees in Emelo, Mpumalanga.
It's 2 degrees.
Not really, but maybe 12.
Ndabezitha, where are you and what's the temperature over there?
It's very cold. I don't know what's the temperature, but it's cold. I'm at Johannesburg.
Are you in Johannesburg?
He said phosphorus.
Phosphorus. All right, guys, this is the beautiful thing about the internet. This is the beautiful thing about being live on a podcast, using streaming channels like Facebook, like Zoom, because it means some of the people that it was going to take us a long time to meet, travel by bus or helicopter or train or plane. Now we can just press a button and we are together and we're talking. So I'm really grateful to the both of you because I've heard fantastic things about what you're doing. My colleague Hupulang is in both of your WhatsApp groups. And he's saying that, you know, it's giving him a sense of community, a sense of belonging, a sense of, you know, just less freaking out, you know. You've created a safe space in a very difficult space, which is WhatsApp, where people target each other for all kinds of unnecessary things, you know. I think we know some of the other Facebook groups like Mature Lesbians. We know some of the notorious people on those things. We know what goes down. We know that people call each other out. We know that people are trying to fall in love and have side chicks and many girlfriends. So I'm very curious to know what happens in your WhatsApp groups. So don't worry, I'm going to find out the rules also of your WhatsApp group so that you guys don't break the trust of whoever is in your groups. I'm not trying to make you say things that you've never said before, right? So let's get right on it. And for the people that are joining us on the Gender Exchange today for the first time, welcome. If you have any comments, please comment on our Facebook page. The conversation is live. We shall always be looking at the comments. I see there's already a comment even right now. The Gender Exchange is a platform for gender diverse individuals, people who are activists, professionals who are working with transgender people, intersex people, people who are gender bending, gender fluid, people who are saying, I have no gender, people are saying, I take all genders, no gender, you know. So it's going to be very interesting to hear what you guys are about. Can I please start with you, Ndabezitha? You look far away there. You're far away from your phone, but we can see you. We like the pink walls. We like the background. John, again, please tell us just a small little background, about yourself, Where were you born? What was your childhood like? How did you get to this point where you are out and proud as a trans man? Any highlights about yourself? We are very curious. So please go
Okay.
ahead. Yeah.
Well, I was born at Natal Street Hospital.
Okay.
And I grew up at Fosloras. I grew up with a big family. I was raised by my granny. My childhood, to be honest, I don't have childhood memories. I don't know what happened to my memories. I don't have them.
What is the reason for that? Like, from what age do you remember? Like, from which age do you remember?
To be honest, I don't remember anything about me growing up. My childhood, I don't have any childhood memories.
From what age do you
Seems
remember?
like it was.
How old were you when you start remembering things?
I think 17 years.
But you've got photographs of you as a baby and as a child that they've shown you most, right, in your family?
I don't have them.
You don't have them.
Unfortunately, I don't have them. Yeah, but I only have one pic that I got from my granny. I don't even remember what was happening to that picture.
And how old are you in that picture?
I think I was 5 years.
Okay.
If I'm not
So
mistaken.
what if you don't remember until you were 17? Is it something that concerns you, that you're worried about? Do you want to remember? Are you trying to find out? Are you seeing maybe somebody who's going to hypnotize you, or a therapist or somebody?
Currently, I don't see anyone, but I'd like to remember my child.
You would, ne? Yeah.
Yes.
So you don't ask anyone in your family about your early days. You've never asked, you've never been told, even if you don't remember.
I do ask my granny and I do ask my mother.
Yeah. And
you
what
know,
did you say?
as us black people ukuthi sinjani.
But
Hayi wena awusazi ukuthi ukhule kanjani. Njani manje, you know, those kind of things.
Okay, so then from 17 up until now, you were in school, you finished school. What did you do after school? What are you doing now? Just like, give us just from where you remember up until now.
Okay, well, I did finish my matric. After matric, I did nothing. Right now, I'm currently unemployed. I'm looking for a job.
Okay.
So there's nothing amazing about my life right now.
But Upini was telling me that you do hair, you've got your own hair salon. Don't underplay yourself, please. I'm sure you're doing things.
I'm kind of stuck. I have many challenges I'm facing. I don't know, facing many challenges.
Okay, let's come back to you, ne? Penny.
Hi.
How's it, man?
Hi, I'm talking.
I wish I was prepared to kind of be able to assist somebody. This is the thing, when you hear the answers for the first time, you're like, I don't remember anything until I was 17. Whoa.
Yeah.
You know, I would have maybe brought in another specialist, but it's a kind of a fun conversation. So even if maybe now you are saying what you're saying about we don't remember and you want to remember, maybe at the end, even you, Penny, you will help me to kind of see like what kind of supports and kind of links we can link somebody, you know. But now tell us about you, Penny. Just give us a little bit of background, your childhood, because you know what I expected to hear. I expected
Yeah.
to hear something like, no, I didn't want to wear the dresses, I didn't want to play with the dolls, I complained. So this is very interesting what you're saying, Yabona na Ndabezitha, but let's hear from you, Penny. Give us a little bit of a background from your childhood, growing up, and how did you get to where you are today?
Okay. So yeah, Open is a very open person
Yeah.
and a person of more integrity. I should say that in a way. But yeah, I'm a person that was well groomed by a Christian family, and I'm actually a Christian also. And I'd say most of the things in early stages, you can just tell who you are. But because you are young, you cannot just construct a word or construct your mind into say, I am actually this. But with your upbringing and your upcoming now, when you look backwards, you can tell in this and this and this. I've been brought up by my grandparents, of which they my dad's side. I remember very well my grandpa would be like, let me buy you a Jeep, let me buy you a BMX. Once you pass your grade 2, I'm gonna give you something like this. And then my granny that side would be like, I'm gonna give you a teddy bear. Obviously, now they're putting you into a phase where or a situation you have to balance them both, yet you're actually gonna just go for what adores you or what attracts your eyes or what you feel. This is what I'm passionate about. So for me, it was not a surprise to be who I am today. And I remember at my earliest age, I started my grade 1 at around 5 years. I completed my matric at 16. At grade 2, I remember I had, it was after Christmas, you know, most after New Year, you're starting a new grade. So they used to buy us most this pack of panties. It's about 5. You know?
Yeah.
So I'd wear all of them just at once, just not to be too much observant into other kids. Though it never knocked why I'm actually doing this, but you'd be just standing behind the wall. Come here, let me count for you how many I'm wearing there. 1, 2, 3, you know. So those kind of things. Now when I reflect back, I'd be like, it's a phase where you actually do the very same thing when you are an early adult and wearing a bra, wearing a sports bra, wearing a vest, wearing a t-shirt, wearing a baggy t-shirt, just because you're trying to cover up something. Now, reflecting that back, it shows that, okay, you've been this, just that you didn't know. But yeah, I'm a person of following what I am and always look back at what you were so that you can reflect on what you want to be. And yes, we have to come out at times to parents that grow you. They see, okay, this one is a tomboy. You grow up, now you know yourself, I'm not a tomboy. Okay, maybe I'm a lesbian. Maybe it was a self-discovery thing of which I am still discovering some of the things, yet I fully understand myself now. So briefly, I'm that kind of a person, open, loving, and yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. And guys, you mustn't be shy to ask me the same questions I'm asking you now. Hey, I love your underwear story of wearing all of the panties, all 5 of them at once. You know, when I was young, when I was 5, guys, I used to wear my uncle's underwear. I was like, I just put it on. Then I did not put my clothes. And I didn't know then, Uba, it's because I know he's got something in front, and now I will feel like I've got something in front if I'm wearing it. And if I was wearing just my own underwear, because I used to play with marbles, you know, with there was
Yeah.
a young boy near my house who was my close friend. And I would put marbles or even pegs from the washing line. I'd put them in my
Way.
underwear. Just so it looks like something is there. you know. So I totally understand the underwear story, ne? But
Okay.
we're going to educate people, you know, and we're going to kind of really make some distinct definitions understood. Yabona. So my first question, and Ndabezitha, how would you describe, ne, is the difference between a butch lesbian and a trans man? Is he there? Is he
I
gone?
think there's a network problem by his side.
All right. Why don't you answer that in the meantime while we wait for him?
All right. For me, a butch, as someone that identifies, or it's someone that is born female,
Yeah.
and
Who is that now? Who are
a
you
butch,
describing first?
a
A butch
butch.
lesbian,
Yeah,
yeah.
a butch. It's a lesbian, of which it's a woman that is in love with another woman, or practicing their sexual practices with someone of their same gender, though they have masculinity in themselves. Yet they still say, I don't have either. It depends with the person. Either they would still say, I'm butch, yet I'm still comfortable to be called a she, or some a he, because the stone butches, the soft butches, they differ. So when we come to a trans man is someone that was born also female, but doesn't identify or is a different person from what is assigned at birth. So there's a difference, and there's difference into their life practices, in terms of their pronouns, in terms of them being addressed. So I'd say a butch is someone that is comfortable to be said female and dresses into female. Though it depends with a person. They might dress in whatever way they want to dress, but their gender, what's assigned at birth, is what they conform into, unlike a trans man.
A trans man, eh?
Mhm.
Hey, it looks like we've got Ndabezitha back. Ndabezitha, the question was, what's the difference between a trans man and a butch lesbian? And have you noticed any clashes? Do you know what I mean? Because a few years ago, I'll tell you guys that I found out that the lesbians, they're rejecting the trans men. You know, it can happen that like there's a clash between butch lesbians or lesbians and trans men, and people will say, I mean, why do you have to take it so far? Yes, we like girls, but not till we know we are still girls. What are you doing? We don't like men. Why are you becoming a man? So I just want to find out from you, Ndabezitha, like, what's your relationship with other masculine presenting, like lesbians, butch lesbians? And have you found that, you know, it's either you choose a side and you can't be friends? Have you had any interesting experiences? Ndabezitha, did you hear the question? But we can see you just fine.
Sorry, my
Yeah, you
network
can talk.
sucks. Yeah, my network sucks. What was the
Don't
question?
worry, we can hear you. The question is, there's butch lesbians and there's trans men.
Sorry?
And there are butch lesbians, ne? And then there are trans men. What is the difference, and what is your relationship like with other butch lesbians and with other trans men? Do other lesbians say, no, you are taking it too far becoming a trans man, and they reject you, or do they accept you? I just wanted you to talk a little bit about your experience, and even if you want to talk about the stages that you went through. Did you first start off as a lesbian, and then a butch lesbian, and then a trans man? If you can just tell us about that. Unanzika is stuck here. Let's you and Pen Jonga. When it comes to Ndabezitha, I'm just going to let him. Whenever his network comes back, I'm going to take him.
All right.
So let's just continue on what we're talking about. Like, what have you experienced? I mean, I know you do advocacy. We're going to talk about the job that you do also.
Yeah.
But like, one of the things that inspired me very early when I started working here at Tholwana Molemo was the heartbreak that I felt when I met a trans man who was saying, I'm so glad there's a transgender organization. At least now, finally, people are going to understand me because I've been rejected by the lesbians. I'm rejected by the gay men. I've got nowhere that I fit in. So what is some of the important things that we need to create as information, education, and acceptance between people that want to create two different worlds for trans men and butch lesbians?
Okay, at first, firstly, I'd say it would be nice for an awareness or within the LGBTIQ, the alphabets, within just the umbrella. We need to teach or to make ourselves aware or learn that even if we can all be under the umbrella, but still we are different. And in a way which you feel you are lesbian, the other person as a lesbian person cannot feel as what you feel. And how they identify themselves, we can all we can be two people. You are butch, I'm butch. But you still be like, I never liked panties. The other one would be like, I forever love panties. I don't see myself wearing a BVD. These are same people. They are under the umbrella or the alphabet saying, I am a lesbian. But still, they never like the same things. Even if we can be all this kind of, let me just say, homophobes, homosexuals, but still, it doesn't mean that what you like is what I'm going to like. What you are is what I am going to be. I am different in my own way. If you're not feeling comfortable in binding while you are a butch, do not discriminate or do not stigmatize the next person that doesn't feel like a sports bra is good enough for them. Let what works for you work for you. And what works for the other person, try to understand it. They are different from you. Just like you have a family. There's a firstborn, there's a secondborn, there's a thirdborn. You all one person, you all one people, but you only differ in names, but the same name is still the same. We are also that. We are different in the labels, but still we are one people. We just come in a different angle of understanding. I'd say I would love for someone who's butch to say, Mfethu, ngikhule nawe, we've been friends, we've been lesbians since high school, but now we are adults, and then now you say you are a trans man. How did you come to that? Give me the ear and give me the time to tell you how I feel and how long have I been feeling like this and why. Because could be I want to vent, but I cannot vent to you. That's where we come to a point of understanding that it's not that people under the umbrella, they are alcoholics or addicts. It's not that. At times it's where they release their stress too, because I cannot tell it to you. Once I tell it to you, you're just gonna go to Facebook and type whatever, you shame the person. Yeah, they make themselves better than lesbians. That's not that. This is not, it is not competition. It is a journey. It's a self journey. Each and every person has to find themselves. Could be you say, you're dissing what trans men are or lesbians are. You wouldn't know in the 2 years to come that where would you be finding yourself into a new experience, because a person is gradually changing. You change each and every time, not because you change because you want to change, but because of the life experiences that we come across or we encounter. So it is much best that we give each other chances and not judge, but let me be someone who's compassionate to just listen to the next person, because it's not every guy that is going to afford to have a psychologist or to have the guts to just go to a public clinic and say, I'm asking for a social worker just to talk, or I want to talk to a pastor, or I want to talk to someone. It's not just everyone that has the guts. So let us just be patient with each other and just spread the love within us. The way was Tandanga, be able to love the next person and be able to understand as much as you want to be understood.
Exactly. Ndabezitha, welcome back. Did you
Thank you.
hear the question?
No,
Don't
I did
worry.
not hear the question.
You know what we are talking about, ne? We're talking about sometimes that competition or that clash between butch lesbians and trans men. When butch lesbians, they don't understand why somebody decides they're trans men, as if now they're taking it too far. You know, did you experience anything like that? Did you start off as a lesbian and then become a butch lesbian? And then when you knew yourself to be a trans man, did you lose any friends that you were friends with before just because you identified as trans? Have you got any stories for us?
Yes.
Mm.
Yes, I've got a story. I started by being a hardcore femme.
Really?
I'm calling myself a hardcore femme. Then I became a butch lesbian. And then I find myself that I'm not a lesbian. I transitioned. I lost many friends because of my transition. One of my friends asked that, do I have a dick or not? You know, lesbians. They want to know a private party. So yeah, they ask those kind of questions. Do you have a dick? Hey, where did you do your surgery? How much did it cost you? Isn't this ganja? So I lost many friends, but I do have one friend that understands me, and I'm
Yeah, I saw Ndabezitha's
to have
Facebook
that friend.
account. Oh, you're back. We saw your Facebook account.
Sorry?
Man. We saw your Facebook account there, where you're openly showing that you've had your top surgery. That was some very powerful advocacy that you did there. But you were still talking and then you got, so just carry on. Sorry, you said you've got one friend that understands you.
Yes. Do you guys
Yeah,
still
no,
hear me, or my network?
yes, we can hear you.
We
We
do
can
hear
hear
you.
you. So then how did you come to start your WhatsApp group? Were you reacting to the people that were rejecting you, or were you trying to find people that are like you? Why did you start Change, the WhatsApp group?
To be honest, I started my group because when I wanted information, I'm a trans English information. Angeke ngibasho amagama vele, obviously, but bangincishe information. But mina, as soon as I get information, I wanted to ukunceda abantu ukuthi bazi ukuthi izinto eziso possible, and it doesn't charge them because they think everything is money. Where else we have events clinic that help psychologists mahala, hormones mahala, but unfortunately at the moment they don't have hormones. They write them a prescription. So mina ngivele ngibatshele lezo zinto ezinjalo ukuthi you can go to vet clinic. I give them a number where vet clinic, they communicate in vet clinic, babanike ama appointment, they go there.
Guys, we have some cool comments on Facebook, and it looks like there's hot comments here. I just like to read them so that we are talking at the same time as the comments. So Ndabezitha, a question for you. With all the stages of homosexuality you went through in identifying who you are, can you tell us, is it based on your sexual preferences? Because in all the stages, I would assume you were dating women, or what triggered that, or what led to that sex identity? I think this person is talking that first you were a femme, then you were a butch, then you were trans. This person is asking, who were you dating when you were all those things? Were you always dating women?
Okay. Yeah, I was dating butch lesbian women.
In the beginning?
I even now I do date butch lesbians.
Okay. And then there's another question here. Some lesbians might feel intimidated because they have no desire to relate to men. So because a trans man is essentially transforming into a man, it's hard to relate. That's where the difference of who you are attracted to and which sex you identify with. So they're explaining that maybe that's where the rejection comes from other butch lesbians, because they rejected men. So now when you become a man, they also want to reject you. Do you guys agree with that?
No.
Oh,
For me, it's a no, because it's not all of them. I have so many lesbian friends, not rejecting men, but understanding that there's a line to draw.
yeah. Because I mean, there is that thing, you know what they like to say to us? They like to say, you've become a lesbian because you were hurt by men, and now you're
Yeah.
going to be a woman.
So it's
there's
not
some people,
everyone that has been
it's not
hacked.
everyone is like that.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
Okay, I'm going to get back to the comments now again. So tell us, with you, Penny, what made you start your WhatsApp group, F2M Brotherhood?
All right. Firstly, I didn't mention it at the time you gave me the floor for introductions, but I grew up from a very rural area, which is Gomazi, Komatiport side. I think it's closer to Mozambique, if you know. So at that time, it would be very difficult to access anything. You want help, you want to transition, before you can even know you want to transition, you want information. You want someone to talk to make them understand what you say you feel or what you say you are, and for them to help you say you are normal when you say you are this. You just want services, but you cannot get them. You want people to talk to. You don't have those kind of people, and very few people you'd say, I can say this one is a lesbian. I can come across, because I look very young, but I'm very old. So at that time, I broke even rules that it was way back 99, of which they'd be like, a girl must wear a skirt in the school, and I'm like, no. So it's more of the things, the challenges, actually. It's what made me or inspired me to say, let me create the group. It's also difficult. You can just find or see someone on Facebook say, this one is transition. You inbox them, you ask them, you say hi, they say hi. So I think I don't like being called a she, because you don't actually know how to put it at first. You don't know how to brainstorm on what are you, because you still even don't understand some of the things. So you just inbox a person, hi, I want some kind of information about transitioning or understanding the journey. They just take you and just get out of your head. So you'd never actually get help. So when I started getting help, then it's when I started being like, you know what? I'm not gonna be like the rest of them. I don't wish for any people or anyone to struggle as much as I've struggled to the journey. I don't want anyone to struggle for understanding themselves. I don't want to see anyone struggling, not being accepted at home. I am willing to intervene through the houses where they are not understood, through the churches where they are kicked out, in each and every corner of it. But before you can come into winning that, you have to find the people, find the right people that they actually need it. So that's when I was like, I'm going to do this. This is going to work. And by working, it's not going to be for me. It is for them. It is their group. It's not for me. It's just that I only went to create group, but the group is there because of them, because of the brothers, because of the non-binaries, because of all of them, binary, non-binary, just all of them.
So how many people do you have in your group, and when did you start F2M?
Okay, the group was started, I think when we decided to start it, it was Onhlanhla Mthembu, they are the fellow brothers. Many brothers I can mention, but for now, the total number of it at 60. So yeah,
60.
it's
From
been running
from
since
the whole of South Africa.
from the whole of South Africa. We have Namibian guys, Zim guys, Durban, Mpumalanga, Free State, Blue, everywhere. We're just all there.
And
White,
you
black,
started it,
everything.
black, white. You started in
2015.
2015, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And what about yours, Ndabezitha? When did you start yours? Change. I think there's a delay with Ndabezitha. Yeah, when did you start your WhatsApp group, Ndabezitha? What year and how many members have you got? Are you in Ndabezitha's WhatsApp group?
No, because I think
Well, I started my
okay, I think we lost him again. So I'm not in his group because his group, I think they formed it after I already had done my surgery way back. So for his group, I think they were specifying, specifically doing the plannings of having top surgery and etc. So I already had passed that. The only thing I'd like prefer, like anyone that needs to plan for their top surgery now, because we've guided them, they already know that Ndabezitha add you. So yeah.
Yeah. So you've had your top surgery.
Yes.
Yeah. As in this conversation, we've all had our top surgery. Are you interested in bottom surgery also?
Well, the genes that I have, they're so beautiful, very beautiful. I don't actually think of even, they mostly say I actually hate it because I'm against it. There's a norm that they would normally say, with transmen and growth, you'd grow your bottom growth into maybe 7-inch.
Wow.
I mean, not some would say that, or it would never be more than 5-inch or what. Since we're on this platform, can we say it that it only depends on the genes? If your daddy is gifted, you will be gifted. So with that statement said, I'm very much comfortable not having bottom surgery, or I am happy with what I've grown. So no.
Yeah. So when you started testosterone, I'm jumping to a later question. I've got a few friends that are on testosterone, and the first thing that they struggle with is the horniness. Gosh, people are horny like anything. Please tell us about what you went through when you first started. And also touch on that part, yeah.
I'm starting hormones, right?
Yes,
Here's me happy. Yeah, starting to take my testosterone. And here's me happy and all excited. Yeah, the changes are gonna kick in. The excitement. You're just excited. I didn't know when it starts kicking in, there's also some drives. Financially, so I've been a person that their sex drive is high.
Yeah.
So as 3, I think it was my 3rd injections, because I was injecting in bi-weekly, every 14 days.
Oh, really?
So my
How
third.
many milligrams were you taking every 2 weeks?
I think it was 0.5 for almost 3 months.
Okay.
Until after 3 months, then I was, the dose was upped.
Mm.
So now in 3 weeks time, no, I can feel, okay, now my armpits are a bit different. And the smell, the body odor, the sweating.
Oh.
So now you wake up in the morning, how? Skyrocket, you honey.
Mm.
Afternoon, you are wooden. Evening, you are wooden. Like you can just, it's a continuous thing. So it was just new to me at that time. So it's some of the things or the challenges when by that time when I started, the WhatsApp group was not there. Who are you gonna talk to about that? Because
Yeah.
you're not sick. You are very normal, just that
Yeah.
you don't understand this. And then within a month, starting, then now you feel, okay, you actually don't feel that now your clit is starting to grow into a form of a penis. You don't actually feel that. There's no pain when I say you don't feel it, but you go to pee and then now you're like, wow, okay, I can see something coming. So for me, I understand it now because it's been way too long now. So
How long
it's
has it
them.
been? What year did you start taking testosterone?
I think now it's about 9 or 8 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I got to understand this. The more you get honey, it's the more you get your growth.
Oh.
So it's a bad thing, but after a year, the hormones do start to balance, and you start to understand yourself that okay, this is how I'm gonna deal with it. When it comes, just take your will and exercise. Because your woman it's more like your woman cannot always be like, I'm gonna give it to you. No.
Yeah.
So it's a good thing because it pushes the growth, but you struggle for a moment just to balance it before.
And thank you for mentioning that, your body odor changes. And you've also mentioned that you had a partner, you had a girlfriend at the time. So
Mhm.
when you used to exercise, that helped you?
Yeah. Yes, it
Okay.
helped me a lot. In a way that you can just, from the group, the brothers would be like, you know what, let's create a separate gym exercise group where we would be like, what time are you working? 7 o'clock. Okay, 3 o'clock. Can you all just gather and just start exercising? Whether you jog, whether you have the wheel, whether you do push-ups, so it works for us. So yeah, it
Yeah.
was good.
Thanks
Yeah.
for that. Actually, I haven't known actually what to suggest when it comes to that. What about you, Ndabezitha? When did you start taking testosterone? And what were some of the changes that you experienced?
Well, I started taking testosterone in 2020. I noticed a clit started to grow. Umnuko wami washintsha nganuka ngenye indlela. Ayi namba ungawuthandi. So nje into eningi nje ngizinothisile, my voice did not change at all. Namanje ngisasafara from i-voice. I grew a beard without using izinto zentshebe nanana, even yazikhulela. Yazikhulela yenze konke ekwenzayo ngayishaya iphinde izikhulela.
And then what about, how do you manage when you are always horny? How was your sex appetite?
Ngisezwakala.
Ewe ndiyakuva, siyakuva. So ngoku besithetha about the horniness, uba you get very horny. When ubusenza kanjani, were you also getting horny?
Well, my sex drive is very high and was very high before starting T. So, and that time I had a girlfriend. A girlfriend I he right now.
Oh.
So, mina naye besifana. I did not suffer for anything. Like we had, our sex drive was high,
that was as
both of
horny
us,
as
so
you.
we could help each other.
Because nobody too benitata it at the same
Yes.
time, you and your partner at the time.
Injalo.
Hey, that's the best, ne? I haven't heard of a situation like that. That is the coolest. I at least you had a partner on the equal appetite. Yabona, baby, honey, hey, we both took out, hey, it's time. Because Gapa Upeni had to exercise, yabona, to keep things going. And and we are talking about it like it's fun, but you know, some of the people, they experience irritation and pain, and they have to take cream.
But let's say this.
Mm,
That's why.
Yeah, I did experience pain.
mm.
Okay.
And what did you do for the pain? Was it an itchiness? What
No,
was it? Did you put
when it
cream?
was growing, I could hear it was growing.
Oh.
Ngathi yahlaba. So I knew there was something happening.
Is it worth it, guys? Is it worth
Mhm.
it? Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yes.
now that things are grown and they're different size, they can be appreciated even better now. You don't need assistance in the sex toy department. You've got everything you need.
It depends.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Not really. Mine shrink. Mine shrink.
it shrunk. How did that happen? That yours shrunk? How did it happen?
I think it's because I've been without having sex, so it shrink when I don't have it.
Really?
So
So it
I
wasn't
did
because
ask
you were
Penny
having,
for what should I do? Sorry?
it wasn't because of the dosage. It wasn't because you stopped testosterone. It just shrank because you weren't having sex.
Yes, I've never stopped taking testosterone.
Penny, why did it shrink? Do you agree it's
Okay.
because of no sex?
Firstly, let me start somewhere before I get there. See, when you have your growth,
Yeah.
You can feel, okay, once you've noticed that it is now my clit has grown to a form of a dick. The more it grows, see, a clit is more like, see this, it's a pen. Eh? Before you can switch the pen out for this pin to be out, a clit is closed. The head within is closed. Then when your clit starts to grow, it leaves the foreskin behind and the head comes out.
Yeah.
When the head comes out, when you start to feel the sensitivity, where your unders, you feel like, oh, there's something ticklish or it's sensitive, then you'd even change from boxers to tanga unders, you would change underwears and you'd even opt to not to wear a underwear at all, just because of the friction, the sensitivity. Having the friction and the sensitivity, it means that you are growing. The more it grows, the more you get horny is the more it grows. The more it grows is the more your woman or your partner, when they give you head, when they start giving you blowjobs, it's the more you even have more growth. The more you have sex, it's the more it grows, depending on what kind of sex are you having, what kind of but the more you get blowjobs, that's the more it grows also.
Oh, so then it makes sense that when Ndabezitha wasn't having sex, that it shrunk. Because so it makes sense. Is that why you agree?
Depending on how you, okay, obviously, if though I don't want to say this, but if he didn't have sex, obviously the survival point was masturbation, right? So if the survival point is masturbation, it depends how are you masturbating. Are you pushing it out, or you just crawling and crossing whenever you're about to reach your orgasm? So if
So
you're crawling and
weight can be
crossing,
something
if,
that
if you, you're
can
not
pull it.
pushing it, you're not pushing it, but you're just crawling and crossing, and it's gonna be like withdrawing backwards.
So do we have sex toys now for the T penis, for that masturbation, so that you are not just stimulating, that you can get you can get maybe the pull and the suction that can keep it. Do you
Not
know?
not not that I've used one, but there is flesh. There's a flesh.
It's called flesh.
Yeah, there's a flesh,
What
of
is
which
that? What does it?
it's a sex toy. You can just put your meat in, then you know.
And it
Um,
does the things.
yeah, in the group we normally call it unarchi, because there's another trick with unarchi, and Abozotana, they've said some things about unarchi. So, but it's flesh. You can just put it in, and also we have STPs, right? The STPs you can stand to pee 3-in-1, 4-in-1. We have the 3-in-1s.
STPs.
Hey, the 3-in-1s at most, they are pee, pack, and play. You can still play. When you play, it can help with that. Yeah.
I am going to write these things down. Right?
Yeah.
And then I'm going to go down to my sex shop and list them and say, I need this, I need that, and need that.
Yeah.
All right. And in your F2M WhatsApp group, you are also got non-binary people, ne? And it's
Mhm.
always interesting for me when I talk to non-binary people and ask them to describe how do they understand themselves when they are non-binary. So according to you, what is a non-binary person? Because they are welcome in your group, and are
Yeah.
they got different needs? Do you know what I mean? Because I'm always curious about, if you're not binary, are you recognizing, if you're not recognizing your sex or your gender, and you are none, how do you engage sexually, and how do you recognize yourself as a sexual being?
Okay.
So I've got lots of questions I've asked there. So tell us a little bit of your experience and your understanding of non-binary.
Okay. Within the group, whenever you come, we say 07 what is added. Obviously, how's it, brothers? Or how's it, fellows? At times, the greeting the person say, you can just tell there's this person, but you keep yourself reserved, because within the trans life, within the trans brothers, we still don't box each other. We just wait for you. We cannot say, hola, bra, how's it? You're welcome, brother. Then they'd be like, thank you, brothers. But I don't like being called a brother. Rather call me by name, or they, or them. They specifically tell, brothers, I'm a trans guy, and I have transitioned, or I'm about to start my transitioning, but I prefer being called they, them, not he. And I'm the kind of person that prefers to date another trans man. Or I prefer to date bi women. I prefer to date lesbian women. I prefer to date straight women or cis women. It's up to them. We welcome anyone. We don't judge. Though you would still feel there is conflict, because once you say, I'm a trans man and I like other trans guys, and I'd be like, oh, senzo share the name. You understand? But then it's a way that we make each other flexible. Whenever you say you're non-binary. That's who you are. You don't conform into any other gender. You don't want to be labeled. You don't want to be boxed, or you want to be boxed, or whatever you want to be, we let you be.
But you kept the name brotherhood. And I'm liking what you are explaining, that you are not boxing people, and you're not only accepting other brothers or only people that identify as male. Ne? So what led to you keeping the name brotherhood, and how do you explain it to those who who are feeling, excluded from the name of the group with the brotherhood?
I think the best way is obviously when they get to be into the group, they are told by someone else that, oh, you know what, Mfethu, there's a group called this, a WhatsApp group. It's a trans guys group. It's called Brotherhood. Obviously, when you add that person, automatically they will go read the rules. So even if the name says
What
Brotherhood,
are the rules? Sorry,
the
that was
rules,
the first
the rules
question.
are respect each other. Don't step on my toes. I won't step. A summary or a brief of them. Don't step in anyone's toes. They won't step into your toes. Whoever that is misbehaving, we all can vote. Are we keeping this person or not keeping this person? Because this person is toxic.
You just remove
We talk.
them.
So whenever you come, you would come. Yes, this is the name, but the name doesn't limit you into anything.
And then what is the general mood of the people that come? Because these Facebook, WhatsApp groups, people are looking for love, looking for one night stands, looking to share at each other. So in your group, is it platonic? Or what's the mood? How are people talking?
It's in a way, it's unbelievable, but I would tell you, and I would love them to comment if they can, because they know this. We can go a week on mute. No one is talking.
Oh.
Not that we don't have things to say, but we understand there are some days you just have to. But once you say, yo guys, let's say it's 1:30, midnight or after midnight. Yo guys, I've been to a pub maybe. Then now I'm coming with this girl. I don't know how to tell this girl I'm not, or to come out to this girl that I am a trans guy, because this girl sees me as a straight guy.
Yeah.
At 1 or it's 1:30, after just midnight, everyone would be up and be like, no, do this. You know what, just, the advices. So it's not that we are not available, and it's not that we don't talk. We talk almost about everything. We share posts for employment posts. We talk about girlfriends. We talk about coming out. We talk about coming out to families. We talk about the guidance, how to start testosterone. Where can you access it? If you're in Bloemfontein, where can you go? If you want to get your surgery, who can help you fast at Bara to open your files and make things easier? What? So we don't have
in other
any
words, you yourself don't need to have all the information. You are relying in the group at large. So if somebody's saying, I'm in PE, I want to transition, where can I go? Then you as the admin, you're not expected to have all the answers. You open it up for.
Yeah, we cannot have all the answers. You cannot have all the answers as an individual, because if I have transitioned Nila in Mpumalanga and there's another guy that has transitioned who said Durban, that guy at Durban would say, you know what, I mean, I'm accessing my hormones somewhere here. Okay, brother, you hear this one, or Mfethu, or whoever we call you, this one said this. Can you relate? Can you guys meet up somewhere and then take this person through? Then they'd be like, okay, I take this person.
That was going to be my question, actually. Have you guys ever met in real life, or has it stayed only on WhatsApp? Have you tried to take it live after? What have you?
I think
what is
around. When was the longest weekend in April? Somewhere there.
Yeah.
There was a meetup. There was a black tie event that was planned, and poker night. It happened. I was also supposed to be part of them, but because I was working over that weekend, so I couldn't do it. But yeah, the guys did meet up. They've met up even in the past years. There's been bush camps.
Wow.
Just get along and talk about the things. Some instances, come with your woman, I come with my woman. Everyone come with your partners. Let's just chill, because also our partners, they have crises. At times they just have to sit and talk, but like, this is what we get. This is what we get, So
that's
it
amazing.
does happen.
So, I mean, if you're nationwide, so maybe the people from like Durban that are in Durban, if there's 60 of you and there's 11 provinces, There's not always a lot of people in one province. So maybe
Yeah.
the few that are in that province will meet. But it hasn't happened that maybe you plan Uba, everyone from all over.
All
you're
of
gonna
us.
choose.
Not yet. Not yet.
I'm joining that. I'm joining. I am joining.
You're definitely gonna be invited.
Thank you. Thank you.
No.
So now, hey, look at the time. It's already 7 o'clock and we're only halfway with the question. Let's talk about dating and the girlfriends and them coming together. I know you and I want to do a separate conversation ne,
Yeah.
about what is
Yeah.
it like to date a trans man? Because now look at 1 o'clock, you're still too shy to even tell the woman, like, hey, what you think is down there is not down there. It's going to be different to what you expect. You see my beard, you see my flat chest, and now you think you got a man. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's different kinds of partners that we get. We get the ones that started with us, you know, that have been with us since the journey. You've got the partners that go like, now I was dating a woman, I'm out. The ones
Yeah.
that leave you,
Yeah.
that will leave you, but like, I didn't sign up for this. And the ones that you meet them when you are as transitioned as you want to be. Do you know what I mean? So are those what are some of those kind of common questions and solutions that you guys have shared with each other?
The thing is, each and every trans man is different. And for the
Yes.
reasons we transition for, they are different.
Exactly.
And as much as most trans men would say it's difficult when it comes to dating, because I think it's when the difficult part of coming out to the person, because you might be scared of rejection and what. But for me personally, I've never had any problems with dating.
Because you're honest very quickly.
Not per se honest very quickly, but when I get to know you, we just talk. We can just, it's easy to talk. Once we talk, obviously, we're gonna go touch the base. And when we touch the base, it's when everything would just be smooth. And then you'd be like, you know what? As much as you see this, there is something there, but could be not what you are expecting. But we should also mention that whenever a trans man is transitioning, I've been talking about this with my girlfriend though, that isn't it that whenever you transition as a trans man, once you start having your growth, obviously with years it becomes more and more and more. It's more like you have a penis now, and still you haven't done your bottom surgery. Yes, that other key, that other fish there now has vaginal atrophy. It's not as functioning as it was before you were preteen. Isn't it that making you an intersex? Because now
vaginal atrophy is when is that the vagina dendata? That's another name for it. When if you try and enter the vagina, it gets tight and it closes.
Yeah, it closed. Now
that's vaginal atrophy.
Hey, that is it.
So now you're saying, now are you becoming intersex now? Some people go like, oh, but now you've made yourself intersex.
Until you go for
interesting.
Yeah. So
until you go for.
You see now, when it comes to dating, now you must explain to this person, when you, as much as you see me as a guy, I am a guy. I have a mini penis. You have a penis. You could go do your meteo, enlarge it, enlarge your normal size. You can do that. It's up to you. Yeah. But as much as I have what I have that has grown, understand there's a fish somewhere there, swimming somewhere there. That's the only part that is difficult to understand. But once you get someone who's like, because sometimes you get a lady and you just have to start with, would you date a lesbian? Once the answer is there, I'm winning here. I'm winning here. So it's
that's
all
your
about
entry point. That's
you have to be creative. You must have pickup lines. to
Yeah.
just read
Oh,
the
you guys.
mind,
Oh,
you know.
I'm
So
gonna
that
ask
would
you for
make
your
it.
top 10 pickup lines in the future. I'm gonna write them down. We must share the knowledge and the wisdom. And
Yeah, but then,
some people are shy, you know, and then they end up feeling isolated and being depressed because maybe they don't have your confidence and they don't have your
yeah.
charm offensive. Yabona? Because
Mhm.
sometimes we get by on our charm. And I'm not sure if you've been watching that show on Netflix, The Ultimatum. The
I've
queer.
heard about it. I
Hey,
haven't watched it deeply.
there is a stud there that is so good looking and so
Uh,
charming that everybody's talking about. And I was like, Nama was watching this stud. I was like, hey, I'm not as cool as this one. Hey, this one can
yeah.
get any girl from anywhere,
Mm,
right?
yeah.
So let's talk about a serious topic now. Let's
Mhm.
talk about male privilege. You know, what I
Yeah.
mean when I'm talking about male privilege is um, I will have my trans male friends that now are accepted into the male side of their family. Thina singabantu abamnyama ne, There's
Mhm.
there's there's the privilege of being accepted as male and now not doing the things that women do. And
Mhm.
unfortunately, not all of us are healthy enough to
Mhm.
still stay kind men
Yeah.
when now we are treated like men. When men have never had to ask for permission for certain things, they've always been allowed to do certain things, you know. And
Mhm.
when a trans man is suddenly let in there, do you do you just accept that role and forget that you were ever female? And there's that toxic masculinity that it comes with also. Uba
Mhm.
now, so tell us a little bit about um what is your advice for trans men when it comes to encountering now you are a man, now everybody treats you like one. Are you going to
Mhm.
forget where you come from? And what's the healthy thing to do in that point?
One thing that I'd say it's a privilege. Firstly, I'd say it is a privilege at some point in being a trans man, and once you pass very well. I'd break
Mm,
it down into two kinds.
mm,
Firstly, you get to interact easy with a guy that you
yeah.
know, okay, this guy normally beats up girls or is the kind of a guy that is violent. That's someone that you can just chill next to them and make them understand. You know what, in fact, you can still love the kid, irrespective of what they're doing, this and this and this. But I'm shy. It is
Mm,
easy for a guy to listen to another guy.
oh,
And
wow.
remember, no matter you can still transition, but you still have the power of understanding that I can carry the feelings or the thoughts of um, someone who's female into the sensitivity, because you one person, whenever they say your woman is on your period, is on their period, you definitely understand what a period means. So
Mm,
there's no angle that you don't understand. Now the privilege is now you're living both lives. You know both experiences.
mm,
In another different practical example, say you're going to Pick and Pay or ShopRite,
mm,
being a woman, and you assessing service provider help. That's not something that is going to be taken too serious. But once you now come as a trans man, you are passing, you are a cis man, you'd be like, "Sawubona sisi, ngicela ukubuza," and then they'll be like, "Hello, sir, good morning. How can we help you?" It's just, it just flows. The
hey
respect that you are
man.
given, the respect that you are given, it's unlike the respect that they would also offer in the same tone to a woman. Noma kanjani, that would never happen.
So after how long had you been on testosterone? Did that first did that first happen to you when you saw now? And how did you feel?
Um, I'd say I started understanding it because I had um, very long locks. So,
Mm,
you know, most locks can give you looks that that think this person is gay. And I'm like, "Ah, not gay, I'm just a man." So
Mm.
after a long run, I got to understand that for me to understand actually the privilege of passing very well when I was about 3 years on testosterone, as
Mm.
you never fear the privilege of being trans men. You can just walk overnight at 8 o'clock and you'll be safe, because the only fear that you'd have is being robbed, unlike the fear of being raped.
Mm.
So you'd come across a bunch of guys and then they'd be like, Olam cheater, Olam cheater. But if you were a woman, because women are the most targeted to be sexually abused or raped,
Mm.
the privilege is there.
And when did you comfortably use male bathrooms?
Yeah, I
Especially in
think
public
after
areas.
in a public area, I think when
I mean,
2019, when I
obviously,
was,
public areas are the only ones with male and female bathrooms.
yeah,
In the, so because one of my first trans male friends, we would
yes,
be out, ne? It would be
mhm,
me and him and my other male friend, ne?
yes,
And then he would just say, "Hey man, let's just go to the bathroom together," because he wanted to go to the bathroom, to the
mhm,
male's bathroom, because he was passing too strong as male to go to the girls' bathroom now. But he also didn't feel safe enough to go to the male bathroom because he wasn't sure, because he was still binding, but there
yeah,
was a bit of growth.
okay,
Now they're going to be scared of you in the female bathroom, but
mhm,
that's where you feel safe. But now you're making the woman feel unsafe.
yes.
So what was your journey with the bathrooms?
I think it around 2017. That's when I started being. I'd go to a female. Okay, you're at a taxi rank. You're traveling. Say you're from Nelspruit to Wheatbank.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's a 3 hours drive or 2 hours, 2 hours and a half hours drive. So a
Yeah.
taxi would probably stop halfway. Everyone is in the garage. Now it's time for the bathroom.
Eesh.
I went to the female bathroom and I've been kicked out.
Oh
By
yeah.
that time, I think by that year, it was about 5 times being kicked out. I sorry, put wrong bathroom. You know. And then
Yeah.
now you just go in and wait for all of the guys to finish, and then you just go. You know. So I think I've started being comfortable after I had my growth enough and passing enough and voice was deep enough around 2019. Let me just say so.
Why did you have to wait for them to leave? Because you could go into the cubicle, Moss. But it's just that I know some bathrooms, that
Mm.
door is not even there in the male
Yes,
bathrooms. And
because you
then now
just find
that's why you can't
stalls.
use it. Now the door, it doesn't close or it's gone completely.
Yeah,
So
I think at that moment it was a self-conflict within. Like, are they looking at me? Are they seeing me? And obviously they're not seeing. It's just you with your mind playing tricks. Like you are afraid. You're still not feeling that much comfortable to be like, you know what?
Mhm.
I'm passing. I can just be here. I have a right to be here. But with confidence, I think,
Mm.
and time, because you have to give yourself time, and you have to be patient with you, and you have to be very lenient with you. Once
Mm.
your instincts and your mind they're a bit on a conflict, but once you start to be like, you will do it.
What about that thing that you can wear that can make you pee standing up? Have you ever tried to find that thing? Have you,
Because you know we in South Africa, and there's no way. I don't know now, but we never had any way to access the STPs, 4-in-1s or 3-in-1s. So obviously we have to order the organs overseas, and then it would
so
come
did
here
you
over.
order?
Yeah, then
You've
you have
got,
to start practicing. You have to start practicing because you don't want to wear it and then you go pee yourself in front of people. You
Ish,
know, so you
yeah.
have to start practicing until you are perfect and until you feel now I'm good to go. Then yeah, by that time I didn't have it until I had it. Then everything
Now,
was so smooth.
now you got it
Yeah.
and you use it. And this is also a
time.
subject that you've had in the WhatsApp group. Bah, those conversations, man. Hey, how to practice. I remember when I was in my late teens and 20s,
Yeah.
that we start going from pads to tampons. How
Yeah.
we would help each other. I'm like, how do you put in the tampon? Do you know what I mean? It's like that kind of thing. Like, no,
Yeah.
and then I have to tell my friend, no, you bend down. You bend down so you create the gap to open. Then my friend was
Yeah.
saying, no, no, I was lying back and trying to insert the tampon because that's what I do for sex. I'm like, no, don't lie back. Bend forward, and then you're going to create. So these are the technical things that you guys are also helping each other with, even
Exactly.
like every kind of detail. Like you guys send voice notes and you give details. You don't.
Exactly.
Do you guys share pictures also of what you guys look like, or
Yeah,
you take it that far? And you trust
the
each
one.
other that these pictures are going to stay here. Those are the rules also.
Yeah, at most. Okay, now WhatsApp is nice because it has this view once option. Because at times you'd be just chilling, watching TV with family, and like then once you open, it's a mini penis. Like, hey guys, look at my jack.
Look,
My jack is
yeah, look
growing.
how, yeah.
Yeah. So it's a thing you have to understand. Okay, so these boys, they can just do things.
Ah, man, that's brilliant, you know.
Mm.
Hey, Ndabezitha, you are missing out. We are having a fantastic conversation over here. Hey, where are you? Come back to us. Listen, maybe keep your camera off because sometimes that also, the camera also makes it difficult to stay connected. But can you hear us, ne? Yes, Eva. Ah, it's such a pity. So now, the main thing that I think trans men are struggling with, is particularly tough with everyone, you know? But how can you call yourself a man when you don't have a penis? Do you know what I mean? And I used to
Yeah,
say, you must show the people who are asking you about, oh, you've got one penis, I've got 10.
exactly.
10, you know? So don't ask me where's my one penis when
In
I've
fact,
got 10.
in fact, you have 11, including your growth.
Ah, Abonage, there you go.
Yeah.
So now we're talking about socially. Do you know what I mean? So sometimes I've noticed somebody only stays a trans man in the relationship. And then
Mhm.
with friends and with family and in the community, they never come out as trans, you
Okay.
know? So how
Mhm.
important is it for a trans man to socially transition? Because that's the first step.
Yeah, that's a tricky one because as much as we say, whenever you live your life, you don't live a life to please people, you're just living for you. But you're not living in your own world and you're not living in your own community as in an individual into his surroundings. But you're living with people. At times we have to it's best explained when you start to transition and people know you as a 34B cup size boobies. Now you start transitioning. For the society to understand or the community to band with you on your journey and care with you along the journey, that's when you start binding. You start binding while your voice has not yet passed and a lot of things has not yet changed. But you are preparing your mind as much as you are preparing also the community you're living with, the family, whether they accept you or not. The thing is, that is mostly an issue with trans guys. They want you are my parent. I want you to understand that I am trans. In fact, it's not just for trans guys only, even lesbians, gays, you know, once you know you are trans, you want the next person umzali to understand, like, I'm changing now. I'm here. Don't call me a she. No, it's what we preach in the group. As much as you're transitioning, it's a journey that you are learning you. It's a journey that you're learning new things within you. give the next person, whether it's a partner, a parent, a teacher, whoever that is next to you within the community or wheresoever, let them transition in their own also into understanding you and the changes that you are changing within and adapting into the changes that you are becoming. It's going to take time for them as much as it is taking time for you. So you do not force people to understand. Hey, I told you yesterday, do not call me a she. I told you yesterday, I'm not Nomthandazo anymore. I'm Thabo. Don't fight it. As much as you are having internal conflicts within you in terms of you're not happy with what you see in the mirror. You're not happy, could be because you transition for different reasons. Could be you transition because you just don't want your chest. You transition just because of your voice. You transition because just you don't like what you see bottom there. We're all different. The same support you want to have as the same support you have to give out. Do not fight it, because the more you fight it, it's not like you're doing any justice. Things are still gonna be the same way, but with time, it's gonna change.
So basically you're saying, this is where also it's important for you not to suddenly develop a toxic masculinity kind of way of being aggressive. Once you start being aggressive, then you are losing your audience. Do you know what I mean? Which is why I love like how sweet some of the trans men that I'm meeting that they are, because they have seen, it's only with kindness, it's only with gentleness that people are going to actually accept me. But unfortunately, too many of us have learned that being male and identifying as male is about being aggressive, it's about being hard. Oh no, have you got load shedding? Have we lost you to load shedding?
Okay, load shedding just happened.
I'm so sorry. We're gonna have to just finish up with just the last few questions, né? So how important is a gender marker change on your ID for you and and why we should actually understand anyone who's a trans man that wants to change their ID to male? And have
It is very
important for you. Yeah.
It is very important because at times it will close doors where it is unnecessary. Say you are stranded, you want to go home desperately, so you are unpaid. You ask a relative or a partner to send you cash. They say, we can only send you cash via ShopRite, right? So now they send you cash via ShopRite, you take your ID there. We are figuring out, Sisi, can you help me withdraw this cash? This is my M number and what. They'd be like, go back home and pick up your sister, the owner of the ID. And
oh no,
like, this is my ID. And this is my ID. Okay.
Oh, there you go. To the rescue. Yeah. Thank you to your partner there, the light of your life.
Thank you. I was saying they would just return you back home. Like, we're not gonna give you anything. Okay, we're not gonna give you any cash here because now this is not you into the ID. One, it gives you issues within retails. Two, you go open a bank account, you come with your ID. They be like, this is fraud. You know, you can be arrested for this. Thirdly, you are driving, you on your car, your license still says the same thing that is in your ID. The traffic cop would be like, you know what you're doing is unlawful. I can arrest you. So it is a necessity. It is very important to change, especially if you have physically changed. Exactly. Because that also, it's something that most trans guys struggle when it comes to now. I want to, when now you are employing, they say they want a female. I'm taking advantage because I want the job. I'm taking that ID. It says female. Yeah. You're going there. And then now they're expecting a female. Boom, all half and all blah, blah, all deep and all, you know. Yeah. So it's also a challenge when it comes to that. Now they say they want a male. You know you're passing male. You are male. You transitioned. You are a male.
Now the ID says you're female now.
But now the ID says female. So it holds too many trans people not per se trans men, even trans women. It holds too many people
Yes.
back. We can say the rate of unemployment into trans community is too high, not because they are not qualified, not because they are uneducated, but because the ID.
Just the idea, you
That's
know.
the ID.
And as somebody who's doing advocacy, and then also with you doing advocacy at Seeds of Hope, I really think it's important to self-advocate for ourselves. Do you know what I
Yes.
mean?
Mhm.
I mean, these, like, all these platforms like social media, TikTok, where you talk about your story. I mean, I see so many trans people now that even if their ID doesn't match, they are
Yeah.
maybe, they have been vocal enough, and they are understood, because the main thing is that people think it's fraud. But when they understand, no, you were born like this, but your
Then
ID
it makes
still says that, then
Mm.
they understand that this is not you lying. This is just a fault in the ID that you are still
Exactly.
trying to rectify. Do you understand?
Mhm.
So when they come to organizations like ours and they want us to help them, when they don't advocate for themselves, they are also like delaying their own progress. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
don't just say, no, this is me, I'm not lying. Sometimes
Mm.
you just have to explain, but listen, this is how I was born. This is what I looked like 5 years ago. This is what I looked like 10 years ago. I look like this now because I'm taking my hormones, and I still
Yes.
have not managed to change my ID. This is my ID. Do you know what I
Mhm.
mean? So I
Mhm.
really encourage people to do that. And for some intersex people, ne,
Yeah.
um, they like to live in secret. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I like the example that you gave me. But now you are somehow even fitting in as an intersex person, because now your your organs are transforming to that point. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
What kind of examples of intersex advocacy do we really need to do? Have you got some intersex people in your group? And because these are the kinds of intersex people I've come across, the ones
Yeah.
that their family hid it from them, that they're intersex, they found out
Mhm.
later during puberty, that
Mhm.
different things. Like, how are we going to get intersex people as proud and as open as the rest of us? Because I feel like they're still the ones that we are curious about, the ones that are fetishized.
Mhm.
How can we help the intersex community? And how have
Um,
you got cases like that?
I will go back again.
Mm,
Everyone transitions for different reasons.
yeah.
We have people that are intersex, and because they want to maintain one gender or one genital within, not because they'd want to have surgery. Say you are intersex, but your male side is too active, but
Yeah.
the outside part, you are so female. Then
Oh,
that person would say, I would like to be part of the group because privately so, I am born intersex, I look like a female, but actually what I have within my pants, it's more active, the part that is male. So
yeah.
I want to align this face into what is down there. So
Yeah.
obviously, we will take you through it even within the organization that I am working for, the City of Hope. It's a teaching a program, right? So we
Yeah.
still cater for those. We still
Mm,
we cannot say no, but you are intersex. Why do you want to transition? Because they want to align with
yes,
what
of
works for
course.
them. If the parents never said, you know what, doctor, just chop up one part and let's
Mm,
because we also have issues that we have still to advocate or teach parents that whenever you give birth, if it's not female, not male, intersex, do not make an early decision, because whatever you make, it could be an effect for the child into the future. And the
absolutely.
advices the doctors give to the parents, like
Yeah.
they're gonna die, they're gonna what, so we have to cut out this. you would never know what's gonna work for the child. Let them a bit, let them grow a bit, then you can make a decision.
Yes, absolutely. It's luckily, I'm not sure if there are still doctors that are forcing their opinion and pressurizing parents for like surgery on babies, newborns. But like it's very unfair. One of my friends in Durban started menstruating from his anus, and then only found out then when he's menstruating that actually they were born intersex, and now they're a trans woman, but now they were robbed from that, the opportunity to
Exactly.
actually have the genitals that they want, because they forced the genitals into male genitals. And now
Yes.
I'm not quite sure how far they are. I should probably find them and see if they're willing to talk to us, you know what I mean?
Yes. Yes.
You know what, if we manage to get Ndabezitha back, even if
Yeah.
you and I are talking, let's just stop talking and hear what Ndabezitha's got to say, because now we're going to finish up. Yabona.
Yeah.
Are you, I was actually gonna ask, are you affiliated with any LGBTI organizations, and you're affiliated with Seed of Hope? Please tell us more about Seed of Hope and the work that you're doing there.
Okay, the Seed of Hope is a TG comprehensive organization. We specifically deal with TGs, transgender people. We have the testing, the PrEP, STI screening and TB, and also giving psychosocial. And very soon, hopefully, not hopefully, but very soon, we're gonna start having our HRT. So yeah, it's a very helpful organization. And also we have another one in AYGW for young adolescents and girls, which is our head office at Nelspruit. So yeah, this one is based in Emelo, Gert Sebande district. It touches every sub-district within Gert. So yeah.
So you do
And
what we do at Tholwana. We're both funded by Beyond Zero to do the TG comprehensive. And you and I have got the similar job. We're doing advocacy. Ne?
yes.
So what is your style of advocacy? And how are you championing your work for trans people with advocacy? What kind
So
of
far,
advocacy?
so far,
Really, the WhatsApp group is your most powerful advocacy tool. So congratulations for that. Yeah, but
thank
is there
you.
anything
And
else? Yeah.
yeah, we also have our WhatsApp groups for the Seed of Hope, which we have WhatsApp group for the Seed of Hope for trans women only and trans men only, so that the experiences they gain, they are different. So the journey, yes, it's a journey of self-finding, but the experiences are different and the changes are different. So we advocate too many times for them, even including the training that you and I went for, the same one for human rights violations. So we advocate into the angle, the whole spectrum or the whole sphere. We touch base everywhere.
No, this is fantastic. I've got one last question for you, but before we attend to that question, I would like to read the many messages that we have currently, because we've got 32 comments. This is how hot our conversation is. Let's just get through to some of our comments, so that if there's anything while we still have you, maybe you've got some answers and you can comment to. You need to join the WhatsApp group. You can DM me and we'll assist further. That's DJ Posa. Yeah, the journey is so difficult because sometimes he fights over nothing. His mood swings change now and then, but because I understand, I just watch and laugh. I'm sure here we're talking about, you know, this is actually a question I didn't ask you. Besides the physical conditions that you experience, which are nice, you know, the T penis growing, emotionally and mentally, you know, what are some of the side effects that you know about, that you've dealt with and other people are still struggling with? Depression and all of those things.
Depression, mood swings, anger,
Anger.
self-doubt, like some develop, yes, it could be depression, but they feel more inferior or unsupported. I'd say basically lacking of mental support and the bottling of too many things. That's what most are suffering from. It differs with everyone. Because if I'd be like to tell my experience, that you'd be like, this person is too shining, but it's actually not shining, because me growing from church helped me, because that's where you deal with emotions also, you know, and gym also you deal with emotions also. But yeah, there is.
And did the
There is a
church accept
huge.
you when you changed your gender?
Actually, no one has ever talked about it. I'm still going to the very same church, and it is a Christian church, which where a girl is expected to wear a skirt. And one of the random days, as much as I was butch before I could say I'm understanding myself now, when I was in my early 20s, maybe when I was like 20, because now I'm way over the calendar. So by that time, I was butch, but still, I'd wear a shirt, wear a skirt, wear PVD, fagamatic, you go to church. Until when I started transitioning, then I was like, today is today. I will see if they're going to talk to me or they're going to just call me out. I'm wearing pants today. So no one has ever said anything, any judgmental thing, anything at all. It was never talked about until today. So it's at times the respect you give to people and how you live respectfully. It's it's the very same thing that you're going to get back.
And that's so important. And they respected you as well. And like, I like that you're saying it's because you respected them. You know what I mean? You didn't come in with an attitude about, I'm going to wear this. You know, you took your time. You know what? If you could also, there's a lot of the same people talking, and I love it when people talk while we're having the conversation, you know. But when you get a chance, please come back to these comments, and then we can see what we need to address again. But let me just, my last question for you, can it be, what is your message for anybody that feels like a trans man, but they haven't been brave enough, or they're scared of testosterone, whether they don't know enough about it, or they're scared that the family is not going to accept? And how does somebody join your WhatsApp group? So closing comment, words of advice, and how, because one of the things that we people hopefully are going to want is to join the group.
Okay. All right. For first and the most, let people stay away from fame. Let people control envy. Let people know themselves. Let people understand themselves. Because now, we've once had a case with Bara Gwenes, a very helping surgeon, which was helping most trans guys to have top surgery. There was a time when some guy wanted to sue the surgeon.
Really?
Just because they had top surgery and the results were not as perfect as he sees other people on TikTok and Facebook and whatsoever. Actually, they never wanted to transition. They only wanted to have top surgery just because they saw Nosana looking perfect and looking all pumped up. And transitioning is not about looks only. And for those that transition for reality, they know it's never even a bit about looks. Because when you
No,
start, you don't say, I just want to look handsome. It's not about it.
no.
There's something way deeper than that. So now I'd say, before you can say you are transgender, take time. Take time to know you. Take time to find as much as it is enough information to be certainly sure. Do not rush into anything. That's why I said fame, because people are doing it because the next person has done it. Especially someone you'd say, there'd be butchers that, in fact, I can see now, manje, okay, ususa amabele, nami ngifuna ukuwasusa. In fact, it's not about susing amabele. This is way
It's
deep.
not. And
And
please,
when you
thank
try
you
to,
for talking about that, because I remember after I had my top surgery, my nipples even fell off. Like
yeah,
it's not the perfect picture here when it comes
I'm
to my
sorry.
scars and all of
Mhm.
that. And
Yeah,
I remember just being so grateful that they were gone, that I
they were
didn't
just gone.
I did it
Mm.
like my surgeon would be like, do you want me to fix it? We can do this, we can do that. I'm like, no. I'm done with you. I am happy. I am happy right now. I'm like, no, but we can do. I'm like, no. What I wanted, you've done it. They are gone.
Yeah, they're
I
gone.
don't need, I wasn't trying to have some perfect lip
Perfect.
tuck, like
Like,
cosmetic. It wasn't cosmetic for me. So even if maybe my surgery is not as clean and as perfect as maybe how other people healed,
mm,
I just know that this is my body now, and this is the body that I want. I wanted a body
mm,
without boobs. That's it.
mm.
So thank you for that. Because like, oh no, you don't. And I kind of mentioned it also to women as well. I'm like, hey, do you want to see? Because I want somebody to see them before I
Mm.
fall in love with them. And now I feel rejected
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
because now you're rejecting my body. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I don't want to fall in love with you, and then the next thing you go like, oh,
Exactly.
your chest is scary, hey? So no,
Mhm,
you're
mhm.
absolutely right. Thanks for mentioning that.
Yeah,
So
because
but sorry,
now
carry on.
it puts, by that scene of that guy, that's when most trans guys started suffering. That is when Ndabezitha started to have the group change to help people now access very easy to have top surgery because of the sin of that guy. But I was like, now, you trans people, we're no longer going to help you because now you come here and say you want to detransition because it's something that you never wanted. So now, by one incident, people
Mm,
must understand that by one incident that you do, that one wrong decision you take, by that one incident you just try to fall into the shoes that you are not into. You are
mm,
you are ruining things for the people that actually need that
yeah.
service for a truthful method. So
Because now the surgeon gets sued by one person. They're like, but I'm helping you guys, and now one of you is suing
exactly,
me.
and you're
Then
not
I'm not
paying
going to
anything,
help
and
any
you're
of
not paying
you.
anything. So let people be very cautious about the decisions they take, as much as you'd envy or like what you see into the next person. But if you are really not that, please don't do it. Or if you feel you are, take time and understand yourself. Go for counseling. Thola thina sikhona sinama WhatsApp group, inbox, they will add you into the group. And before we can even add you, we have to screen you before that are you this and this and this before we add you there, because we don't want to add someone that is gonna come there. I feel no,
Yeah. And
we
sorry,
don't
something
want
I
someone
forgot to
coming.
ask you about this also. It's important. Because the testosterone, it makes your liver work hard, ne? And if you
Yeah.
are drinking a lot of alcohol and you are like
Mm-hmm.
taking other substances, and then you won't see changes fast. Please just tell us, like, how are you helping people that are struggling to stop drinking and therefore it's slowing down the effects and that? Sorry, that was such an important question I should have asked earlier.
Yeah. The best thing is, like I've said when we started talking, that our LGBT umbrella people mostly mostly
Yeah,
the pusari. But yeah,
siyaphuza sana.
when it comes
Yeah.
to a trans guy, once you start your journey, once you start transitioning, we obviously advise that if we oppose a case we want, start because you cannot just like boom and do it. Start by limiting, just to cater for your liver. And always after your injection, you inject today, whether you're injecting 0.5 mil or 1 mil or 2 mil or whatever mil your doctor is giving you or prescribed you to inject, understand that each and every day, 2 liters down of water.
2
To keep your
liters every
liver
day of
functioning
water.
every day, keep that 2 liters down of water. If you failed, at least a liter or somewhere there, but to keep your liver clean and keep it running and reduce the toxins within the liver, and try at most to eat healthy. If you are smoking it 20 in one day, try to at least reduce. But okay, I can have just 4 cigarettes a day. Bit by bit, you drop down, but it's something that we also talk about into the groups. But it doesn't return. The thing is, it doesn't affect the changes. The only thing that affects the changes, as you being told by your doctor with the bloods that they've took, that when you are supposed to take 1 meal, and then you take that 1 meal within every 14 days. Better when you decide with I want to see so much fast changes. And then you take it 2 meal within the 14 days. Then you're reversing your process now.
Really?
You're
Double the
delaying the
dose
changes
reverses. It
because
doesn't
now you're
speed up.
overdosing. Yes. Once you
Really?
overdose, you're reversing the process.
Wow. Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, so how do people enter your group? How are people going to access the group?
They should just okay, the brothers, everyone, like there's Konyana, there's Nkandla, there's Nathaniel, there's whoever that is within the group. They also advocate, as trans guys, we also advocate for each other. Any brother would just say, hey, please guys, add this guy. And obviously they've talked prior with the guy. Now they know it's okay. This guy is fit, is understanding, and they are told the rules now. Can you please add this one? I've already took this person through. Some of the people that we add through the group, they come with the brothers. Some they just on the Facebook, hi, you can we please join in? So they can just inbox me, and then we do the rescreening, and then we can add them.
So at the bottom of this conversation, you're gonna write a comment, and then people can access you, and then they'll start the process of being screened, and then to enter the group. Ne? Is that okay like that?
It's okay. Okay.
Penny, this was amazing. Thank you, man. I don't know why we didn't do this sooner. I can't wait for us to do this again. Now talking different topics, because I think these are the most comments that we've had on the gender exchange. So this obviously means that this conversation is needed. It's important. And it's just unfortunate that Ndabezitha, like network, it wasn't cooperating. So we also thank Ndabezitha for joining us. I thank you very much. And I can't wait for us to see each other again. Thank you for all the work that you're doing. And thank you for joining us, man. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Much
All right,
appreciated.
cool stuff.
All right.
Take care then.
Bye.
All right then. Thanks everyone for watching. Then, okay then. Bye-bye.